Liquid Snake, Foxhound squad leader and the mastermind behind the Shadow Moses incident. Liquid talks about his very early life and his conception, strangely enough, in this game, so we'll talk about what happened subsequently. Shortly after his birth, Liquid was raised in the United Kingdom, most likely England given his accent. His real name is never revealed in any form, and according to Roy Campbell, it's at such a high military security level that even he couldn't look at it. At 18 years old, Liquid became the youngest person to serve in the Special Air Service, having impressed in parachuting, rappelling, scuba diving, free climbing, and being well-versed in small arms and combat vehicles. During the Gulf War, where Liquid was about 19, he infiltrated the Middle East as a sleeper agent of the British SIS, while in disguise in an SAS unit assigned to destroy military Scud missiles. He was taken prisoner in the Middle East, went missing, and was rescued by the United States government in 1994. Liquid Snake joined Foxhound in 2000, which was after Solid Snake and Roy Campbell had already retired from the unit. Soon after, he became Foxhound's field commander, reinstated the old codename system, this time adding some more personal identifiers, and reorganized the unit to be a smaller, more elite unit. Just before this game, Revolver Ocelot convinced Liquid to launch an insurrection against the United States government during a weapons test on Shadow Moses Island. Then this game happened. Liquid Snake reflects Solid Snake in many ways. He looks almost exactly like him, barring a tan that he got in the Middle East. If Solid Snake didn't chop his hair down before this mission, their hair would be almost the same besides the color. And like Solid Snake, Liquid also has an IQ of 180, though he can speak in 7 languages as opposed to Solid Snake, who can only speak in 6. Personality-wise, Liquid Snake almost comes off like a Bond villain. Liquid is super loud and super dramatic in everything he does. He somehow later also displays both a superiority and an inferiority complex. It's kind of hard to explain. He's a bit harder to take seriously than he really should be, because he comes off as someone who isn't in full control of himself while obsessing over a lot of impersonal details, but I guess that's consistent with the theme of the game. The Japanese voice actor for Liquid Snake is Banjo Ginga, and his performance is very interesting. His voice is much deeper than the English dub, and he actually sounds much more commanding. It's the sort of voice that when you hear it, it doesn't surprise you that this guy is in charge. This can be very beneficial to the character, because hearing a voice like that can be kind of scary, in a way that benefits the role of the antagonist. On the other hand, his voice doesn't really fit many of Liquid's characterizations, since as a character, Liquid isn't that sinister and is pretty silly. The English voice actor for Liquid Snake is Clarke, originally under the alias James Flinders. Like the actress who played Nastasia, Clarke adds an accent that's kept in the remake, probably because it's simple to explain. Clarke's performance in this is pretty much everything it could possibly need to be. It's loud, in-your-face, obvious, and obnoxious. And you know what? That's Liquid! I'm not insulting Clarke's performance at all. His performance perfectly works with Liquid's character. As I said, Liquid is basically a James Bond villain, so Clarke sounds like he went to make the most grand and memorable James Bond villain performance he could. And he fucking succeeded. It's awesome! I'd also like to say he's one guy whose performance improved in the remake. Since they slowed down the conversation pace, he could really pull off every word with that extra bit of gusto. Both Clarke and Banjo Ginga do a great job, but I prefer Clarke's performance because it's the most perfectly fitting. Other performances by Banjo Ginga include Major Zero in Snake Eater, various versions of Jack in the Tekken games, Tongpu in Cowboy Bebop, King Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, and Nightmare in the Kirby anime. Other performances by Clarke include Professor X in the X-Men anime, Toph's father, Lao Bei Fong, in Avatar The Last Airbender, Doc Samson in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero cartoon, and Andre Almeida in Killer 7.
We're talking guys who beat off 4 times a day!
Liquid Snake has kind of appeared in 4 games.